Once upon a time, in a beautiful meadow, there lived a grasshopper named Greta. She was a curious little insect who loved to explore the world around her. One day, as she was hopping around, she came across an ant who had the most beautiful waist Greta had ever seen. Greta was mesmerized by the ant's tiny waist and she couldn't help but admire it. She had always wanted to have a waist like that, but being a grasshopper, she knew it was impossible. However, she couldn't stop thinking about it and she became obsessed with the idea. She approached the ant and asked her how she had such a tiny waist. The ant, who was kind and wise, told Greta that it was because she worked hard every day and carried heavy loads of food on her back. Greta was amazed and she begged the ant to teach her how to have a waist like hers. The ant, feeling sorry for Greta, came up with an idea. She told Greta that she could achieve a tiny waist like hers by tying a tight rope around her waist and carrying heavy objects on her back. Greta was excited and she immediately followed the ant's instructions. She tied a tight rope around her waist and started carrying heavy loads, just like the ant. At first, it was difficult for Greta, but she was determined to have a waist like the ant. As days went by, Greta's waist started to shrink and she was overjoyed. But what Greta didn't know was that the ant had lied to her. The ant's waist was naturally small because of her hard work and not because of the tight rope. The ant had only told Greta to tie the rope because she didn't want her to imitate her. As Greta continued to tie the rope tighter and tighter around her waist, she started to feel weak and tired. But she ignored her body's signals and kept going, thinking that she was getting closer and closer to having a tiny waist like the ant. But one day, as she was carrying a heavy load of food, the rope around her waist snapped and she fell to the ground. She was in so much pain that she couldn't move. The ant, who had been watching from a distance, rushed to Greta's side. She realized that Greta had gone too far and she had to tell her the truth. The ant explained to Greta that her waist was naturally small because of her hard work and not because of the tight rope. She also told her that the rope had caused her harm and could have even killed her. Greta was shocked and she regretted her actions. The ant's moral lesson was that everyone is unique and should not try to imitate others. It's important to embrace our own strengths and work hard to achieve our own goals. Greta learned her lesson and she never tried to imitate anyone again. Thank you for watching. We value your support. Be part of the big family. The home of stories. Subscribe.